What's up? No worries.
Hello guys, sorry Frank. Hello guys, welcome to the stream. You can always write questions to YouTube's live chat, or I don't know, on Discord or whatever. I will ask Frank. Okay, hello Frank.
Yeah, hello everyone. So welcome to our special stream today for SignumSwap, showing our new development we had in the last couple of months on this portal. Is the screen shared? I don't know.
Yes, it's shared.
Okay, good. So I like to show you our new development, which is the on one hand is the staking pool we integrated on the step ahead to also liquidity pools, and also a little bit about our alias or Web3 identity, showing how that works. I hope I can just demonstrate it here on our SignumSwap portal and guide you through the wizard we have, how to open or how to create a staking pool, and also how to use a staking pool accordingly. Then I'd like to give some words to our last hard fork, which happened some days ago, or 2 weeks ago, let's say. So we had also a good hard fork, went well. We have now integrated the last token action, which is the token ownership transfer with one transaction, which is quite easy. So you can transfer your token to another owner if you like. Without sharing of passphrases or without doing a new token, you just can transfer the ownership. And we also introduced the new alias top-level domains, which can also be used also for this Web3 identity stuff. And also we added one new letter like this underscore icon, which you can add onto your alias name, so you can use it like in your social medias. So I like to start with the staking pool stuff first. So as you know, we have already implemented the SignumSwap stuff for token creation and token trading, which is on this first page here, and you reach it when you go on the main page of the portal. Right now, I'm already on testnet, so we can create all the stuff, and here you see then already some tokens which are created on the testnet right now. It's some tokens with some prices and volumes. So now the things besides this normal trading, you can also go here on pools, and you can go for staking pools. So staking pools here are some created on the testnet already or in the past, also for test purpose. So we test a lot of stuff here that everything is working fine with the contract. The idea of this is that you can create a pool where people can pledge a token, and they get then a stake token back in a ratio 1-to-1. And you can define as a staking pool creator how the payment will run on this pool and how long the pool will pay, and if this pool would have an expiry or will run forever. This is something you can decide by creation, and then people can stake for it, and you can also set a lock period, and maybe with a lock period of, for example, 10 days or 1 month or a year, tokens are blocked until people can get it back. But that's the only thing which is then, let's say, blocking people getting out the stuff from the staking pool. Otherwise, if the lock period is reached, or you have no lock period set on this staking pool, everyone can take out his investment directly if you just send in. So just then would like to show how easy it is to create a staking pool right now on this portal. We have here on the right down, we have a new action is create a new staking pool. Quite easy. You click on this, you go for create a new staking pool, start from scratch. So I have here my list of stuff, just that I can have this prepared. So the first thing is basic data you have to enter for your pool. So creating a staking pool is guiding, this wizard is guiding you through the whole creation in a 4-step wizard. So you have to enter the stuff, I will now enter here a token, for example. This is stake check. It's a test token on the testnet. I just need to enter the token ID. I just want to show you something here, what we did. When I go on my portfolio, I open this in a different tab. You always can also easily copy here the token ID. We just extra added this after we started playing with staking pools, because getting the token ID into the Explorer so is a little bit annoying. So we just added this here as a shortcut, so you can make the copy token ID directly out of this context menu. So going back here, then you have to enter a ticket symbol. We have just one pattern that is always starts with ST for staking, and then you can enter everything. For example, you can stake 20, for example, just make an example, stake 20. Then this is the symbol which is created then for the new token, which will be created by the smart contract or by the staking pool we are now creating. And this token will be sent back to everyone who is sending a pledge token, which is now the stake checked token, to these staking pool. And you can give a short description to the pool. Maybe if you have something in mind, what you want to do, which in a business case or use case which supports here the staking, which this staking pool should support, I would write it down here, because we show this also later on the detailed page of the staking pool. Something you can then test out, or I will show it later. We can make here test pool, test stake pool, for example. So then I can set how long the next thing is quite important to set the lock period for the user when they stake into your pool, how long they get the tokens blocked before they can get them out. That's something you can set in days or months. Currently, there is no limitation from the front end. We just limit it to 12 months right now, of course, we think longer time intervals for blocking makes no sense. But in theory, you could also make your own portal and using the staking pool contract, and there is no limitation. So you could also go for years if you like. But we think at the moment, if there's no request, it should be the maximum right now, 1 year. So let me take here like for example, 5 days, just to show you how it works. So I take 5 days lock period, or let's say, 10 days, for example. So then it's asked how much staking token user must have to receive rewards. That means if your staking pool is distributing Signum, for example, or the yield token, I will come later to that, you can set a reward. And here it's referring to Signum, how much tokens you need to pledge before you get something out of the staking pool. So when I set now here, let's say 500, it's also showing here, you need to have minimum 500 of the stake 20 tokens on your account later to receive a distribution of the staking token. So if I click on next, now I'm in the distribution data. That was the base data. I can also go back all the time, so I can check my data again. And when you see I click here on next, it's already making also you a summary of that setup I did so far. And then the basic data is set, and now we are in the distribution setting. So here we set what is the minimum amount of Signum to distribute. That means if the staking pool is getting Signum sent from any source to this account, which minimum amount needs to be on the pool to be able to distribute. And I would say, for example, now here 2,000. That means minimum 2,000 Signum needs to be on the pool before I start a distribution. And this is also then repeating here. Okay, then I can select the distribution mode for the Signum distribution. And here it's something I can say, okay, there's no max amount, means I just distribute the balance which is on the account. So each time I reach the minimum Signum distribution balance, I will just distribute everything I have. I can go also for a ratio. A ratio is quite interesting because you can say, for example, I need 10 stake 20 tokens, so the new stake token who will be created to get 1 Signum. So that's quite interesting because you can limit your payouts from the staking pool due to the in relation to the investment. So, and also this is also indirectly like a yield, because you get here, let's say the token would cost 1 Signa, that would be like 10% yield in this case. It depends always a little bit how the token is valued, which you have pledged, but then you can calculate also yield here. And it also limits the payout. So if you, for example, as a staking pool owner, send like 100,000 Signa to this pool later for, let's say, distributions, then it would be just limited by the ratio of your investment, and it would only send out if, so for example, you have only 10 tokens staked, or let's say 500,000 you have staked, and I would say, to make it easy, you get only 1 Signa per 500, then I would also send out only 1, and then I need also to check the minimum distribution for the pool. So I would have more investment right now, like 2,000 multiplied with 500 tokens to get a payout on this staking pool. So let's go here for 10. And then what I also can do is maximum amount. It's also quite, that's the simplest way to limit the payouts. You just say how much it should be as maximum you pay out. So if we have a balance, for example, of 100,000 Signa on this pool, and I say the maximum is 5,000, then it says, okay, if I reach minimum 2,000 balance, which I would have, I just pay out maximum 5,000 per per payment, and that also limits the stuff. So let's go here for ratio. Let's go for maximum amount. Is the easiest one, I think, also to understand for a starting point. So I would, if I have a minimum amount of 2,000, I would pay out maximum 3,000 Signa per payment. What I also can do, I can, besides Signa, I can also hand out a yield token to the staking pool holders. And then when I can keep this deactivated, so there is no yield token, or I can also activate the stuff. And just hit my preparation here. If I take this ID, put it in here, for example, on testnet, we just generated like a Signum Euro stable token, which is not existing right now, but let's assume we would have a stable token. You could say, okay, that's my yield token. I have the minimum, again, I have now to define for the yield token the minimum amount of S-Euro to distribute, also means how much balance needs to be on the staking pool before distribution happens. So I also would say here like 200, for example. Then I can also here explain a different ratio, for example. So at the top, I have a maximum ratio and saying I'm just distributed 3,000. And here I can say, for example, for 1,000 stake 20 tokens, I get 1 SU. So I can make also here ratio. So we would have different distribution pattern, but they can be combined and will be sent out in one distribution. Later, you would see then on the testnet in this case, or mainnet, you would see a distribution with Signa and SU as one transaction. So next. Okay, then we go to the payment, which is in the more or less the last block to define the parameters, and then we're already going in the creation of the staking pool. So here we have set when the pool will issue the payments. That's quite interesting. So you can say at any block we reach the minimum amount I defined before, like it said here now, minimum 2,000 Signa or 200 Euro. I would yeah, 200 euro. I would pay at any block I reach these balances with the payment. I will just distribute, or the pool will distribute, or I can say a custom frequency. Let's go for custom frequency. In this case, I would say I would pay only every, let's say, 5 days, for example. So this pool is only doing this every 5 days. It's like a time period set in the pool smart contract, and only if we reach these or we pass these 5 days of waiting period, it's checking again the balance and will then distribute the stuff. And then the last thing I can set is how long this pool will distribute payments to the holders, and I can say forever or infinity, that means it will never expire, so it will always pay out something if these parameters are reached. Or I can set an expiration date. Expiration date is like more like a bond behavior, for example, also an investment product where you say you have like a one-time and a maturity given by X days, months, years, and then you will pay until this date, and after this date there will have no other payment, and normally you should then remove your stake here, and a new pool will be created, for example. So here you can also do some payoff generations you like over time for your holders or for your use case supporters, and then you can just set the stuff up. So I would start with an infinity with an infinity pool, so it's running forever. It's also summarized here. So now I have set everything. So I created my stake. I can also check up here on the side the summary. First, we have the basic data. Staking tool is set. Description is set. My lock period is set to 10 days. I have a minimum reward. I need how much tokens I need to get a reward. Then I have the name is just the token, and it's open end. It's a quite generic name, because if I would set an expiration date like this, it would be closed end, so people get an indication that it's closed end. But I go for open end here. Yeah, and then I have also my distribution details, and then I can just click here on next. And now it goes to the pool creation, and this is also a guided wizard. So with the first step here, I will create and deploy the contract. As we have these green contracts, means we can just use the meshing code for the code from our first deployment of our new C45. We use it, and we just deploy the contract and the data set we defined here. So I click on create contract. Now it's sending out the contract deployment. This is now done. And now in the second way, I have to send 151 Signa to the staking pool. This is the fee which needs to be sent to that the token can be minted, which is in our stake 20 tokens, new one. So I create the token. And this is also interesting because we know already our first transaction. We just refer to the second transaction to the first one. And that means only if the contract is deployed, the second one will also go to the blockchain. I'm still waiting then for the first transaction to be set into the blockchain. So I confirm that. If I now go here on T-chain, you will see two transactions I sent. I have the deploy contract, and I have the normal ordinary payment with 151 Signa to this new contract. So this is waiting for that and then just sending out. Okay, good. So now I'm finished. And the second, because I was saying pay every 5 days. No, this was the first two steps are for the creation of the deployment of the contract, creation of the staking pool token, and the last one is because I decided to pay every 5 days. This contract is set up that it only will react on balance changes. So that means to ensure that we pay every 5 days something if the balance is reached, we have to create a subscription for this staking pool, which is here the third step. So I will create a subscription. This will then send one Signa to the pool every 5 days with the interval, and in this moment the pool gets checking automatically his own balance, and if we reach the minimum balance, then the distribution will be triggered. So this is also sent out, and if I go now here to the view pendings, I see all of them are now sent to the mempool, and after the deploy contract happened, the other ones will also go to the blockchain. They wait there until the last one are linked to the first transaction. So if the first transaction will not work, the other one will also disappear over time. Yeah, and then I'm back to the main screen. What I now can see here, I think, is my pools. we have what we have here on the site is we added my portfolio for the token stuff, and we added here my orders also for token stuff. Now we have a new section, pools. My pools and my DeFi balances. My pools is every pool I created. It's tracked to me as an account as a creator, so I can see the stuff I did here in the past. Let me just close this. So okay. So we have here all my use. You can see under my pools, you can see all the staking pools at the moment I created on testnet here for testing purposes, and then you can see also your manage. Manage at the end is a little bit overstating. I can't really manage something here. I can only manage something on pools which are expired, because if a pool is expired and the last payment after the expiry is done, I'm allowed as a creator to remove the balances. And this is the, let me check here. There's nothing anymore, exactly. Just checking. Yeah, for example, here, you see this is expired, and I could now, as a creator, I can remove the balances, which is at the moment more or less nothing on this one here. Because I did it already some days ago, but I could really say here refund to creator, and this is then going out, and then I will get now the 0.3 Signum, for example, or if I would have any SEO balance on these, I would also get the token back. It's the idea because we don't pay out anything more when the expiry date is reached. So the current staking holders will all remove their stake, and I can also then get back the balance and make a new one. If, for example, I had a ratio and there was not so much investment as I thought, and I have still some token balances and Signum balances on my staking pool, I can get this back, and then I can recreate, for example, a new staking pool for everyone. Yeah. If this pool is running in forever, infinity, I can at the end, like here, I really can't manage anything. It's not that you can manage anything as a creator. The creator is just the idea is that the creator of a staking pool has a use or business case and wants to provide some solutions for the interested holders of the pledge token. And then you can invest here into the staking pool with pledging this token and getting some passive income if possible via this staking pool. So,
if the underlying token has its own income.
if the what? Sorry, again.
Why would you stake if the underlying token has its own income?
Yeah, for example, it's a good question. I can say what we have. Sometimes you have quite high minimum amount you also have to have for this token. So you can use it like a pooling of an investment to get the distribution. If, for example, we had this in the past, we have this one lottery crypto ball where you had to have minimum 100,000 TRT to get involved in the distribution. And now, as we have already, for example, a pool in the main system on the mainnet, I can just show this here. Let me go here. You see it here. We have right now a pool on the mainland which has like 445,000, and if 445,000 TRT are staked in that, and you minimum you only need 1,000 STRT to get distributed. So if this staking pool is now valid for distribution of the crypto ball lottery and will receive some funds in this case, and then these funds will be distributed to all STTRT holders which have minimum 1,000. So in this way you can work around quite high minimum volumes you need for normal distribution on the normal pledge token. That's, for example, one. So you can really pool here investments to get a better distribution ratio. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, good. Then I just want to continue here on the staking pool stuff. What we also did is quite nice. We put here my DeFi balances. So you have, you can also reach it, I think, via my portfolio. You have the normal balances of your tokens, which are quite nice. So you see all your stuff you have invested, or you have bought, or you have got by an airdrop. We also highlight a little bit more the buttons now within your layout. So you can trade, transfer, and you can do some other stuff. And you have these DeFi smart tokens, which are then tokens which are created by a staking pool. That means we deck this automatically in the background. So all these tokens are also shown here. You see here's a token again, as a normal token. You could also trade it. This is the ST39. But if I go on DeFi Smart Tokens, you see it coming up here. And it's a token related to this staking pool. In this case, it's a staking pool. We also name it here. Later, we also have liquidity pools. And you see already the status of the pool is expired. And what I can do now, I can go to the detail page here. If I click on that, I'm on the detail page of this staking pool right now. And as it's expired, I should also unstake my funds. I will do this right now. I will do everything, continue, and send it out. So now I send out that I want to unstake. I send now a message on the chain. You can see it here. I'm now sending out my ST stake token to the can I show it here? Yeah, here I see it. As you see, I sent 2,500 ST39 to the token, to the pool, and I will receive back my original tokens I sent in there, which were these token 8-dig stuff. So, and here you see it directly. So you can also have all the you have like an automated filter here on all the DeFi related tokens, and so you can also easily go there and stake or make later a liquidity swap or something like this, if it's a liquidity pool. Or you can also transfer, or you can also trade these tokens. I mean, maybe we have also a market for these stake token. Right now, normally you would just stake, and I think there would be no trading. But sometimes, for example, if you have quite long lock period, it could be that people are trading these tokens with a discount. We will see maybe this in the future. We have to wait for that. But it's a normal token, so you could also trade this token on the normal. When I click here, you see you can also trade it on the normal market on chain on Signum. So it's no problem to trade it or to give him to sell as a sale onto the market, or to buy trying to buy some other tokens. But I think it's always related into the pledge token price right now. It should cost a lot more because it's a 1-to-1 ratio in this case. Yeah. Yeah, that's it at the end. So what was also quite interesting, we have set up this stuff technical wise. We only use the node in the background to retrieve the data. That's also why it took a little bit longer than expected, because what we did in the background is we used all, or we adjusted all the needed API calls so that we can get it in a good way and in an easy way, and we are not overwhelming the node with requests for data. And I just put it here to show you what I mean. I get contracts. I have it, I think, already here, but I have to put it in. Yeah, for example, what I can do, and what we also do, is our staking pool smart contract has one hash ID, which is this one. And now what I can do here is with get contracts, I get all contracts which are created with this hash ID, a machine code hash ID. So all these codes have the same logic on chain. All these smart contracts have the same logic. So we do the same over the portal. We collecting all the data in the background for all new created smart contracts with this hash ID, and then we present this here on the page, for example, here at the beginning. This landing page is then constructed out of these smart contracts, and the only limitation right now is how we show the data is you need some staking in the pool to see it. on the landing page. So if you create a new pool, you can also always search for your own pool under My Pools, as I showed you, or you can also start here. Let me go to the main pool, I think. Where is it here? No, here. If you go here and I enter, let me go on the mainnet for this. And if I enter TFT or TMG or ZTH at the moment, here you see also something with no investment, or the last one, for example, which is not shown at the landing page automatically right now, but this is a pool, and then you can also reach this page. And for example, if you like to stake at the beginning, also as a creator, something you can easily stake into this pool and find it. But you will also find it under your My Pool. Let's go here, My Pool. And here you see all the staking pools you created. And I think we are not so far. Let me check if we have done meanwhile the contract is created. You see that? So yeah. So we have just a token issue a minute ago. Okay. So if I go for I should see it also here, and it's updating every minute. It's not updated in super real time because we don't want to punish also the node. So I think it's like at the moment we have like every 3 minutes or 2 minutes we updating automatically the background with the information about new created pools. So if I go here and say staking pool, and I go here for stake, check. Here it's a lock period. That's the last one I created, these 10 days, and we have a payment period of 5 days. I could now also go here, and you see there's nothing at the moment because we have nothing invested. So there's nothing. I will invest now some stuff. Let's say here 29,000. I will now send these token, which is a normal one, as a pledge token, send it out, and done. And in this moment now, I send this stuff to this smart contract. Let me go back here. It will go now to the smart contract. It will reach here. It will come in here as a token position, and we will get also a new token back as a one-to-one. And then I will also have a lock period on that. And there's also something I wanted to show. The smart contract here has also where I'm here, has also something to get the values from a contract. So I go here. We have this that you can get contract mapped values. That's a super nice function, because now what I can do here is I can go to a pool. This is mainnet, so I go into the TRT pool. I can say now which value one is staking for the contract. And if I go here, you can see now I had set key 1, and we have these key map values, which is we have key value. So key 1 and key 2. Key 1 is set to 1, and key 2 in this moment here is always the block height and the value of the staking of our pledge token right now. And so you can see, if you go back in history, you can see we started at this block height in production with 0 investment, and then the first investments came. And the pledge was going up until now, and so that was the last change on this block. And this I can also do for distribution to Signa, that we should have only one entry so far. You see it here, we had one distribution at this block, and this is the size of Signa in planks which were distributed. And if you would have the yield token, I could also request that with the key 3. And key 4 is also quite interesting, because you can go here. And here you see for each account the individual lock time. This is timestamp here in this value. And so we can also calculate your lock period on the staking pool quite easily, because the smart contract is logging that. And it's also checking if you try to remove some stuff which is still locked, and you get blocked. Means it will send back the stake token to your account, and you still have to wait until the lock period is reached before you can remove the stuff from the staking pool. So this is also running all by code. There's no interaction from the creator. That's all doing by code, and yeah, way how it should work. Also, once created, the pool is working on its own. The only interaction from the creator is if the pool has really an expiry set, then the only thing a pool creator can do is removing the balances after the last payment. So that means if the pool has expired, it's also quite important to know, then a last payment needs to be done from the pool after this expiry date. You can trigger this also as an owner by sending just one signal to this pool, and then if you have a balance on it which is in line with the minimum requirements, it will pay out, or the it will pay out, and then the rest balance can be taken off if there's still something. So it's always the idea always that the holders will get the active balance as a last payment if possible after expiry. So this is still for the holders and not for the creator. But if there's still something, or maybe there's something going into the yield, into the staking pool from other sources in Signum or yield token, that you still can remove it. And you can do it all the time, or you can always remove the stuff, because the pool will never ever pay anything anymore if the expiry is reached. Yes.
Okay, Frank, can you speak a little more about business cases, why we need staking pools, and how it can be used?
Yeah,
This comes from Holger Peterson. He asked, why is creation of a pool a good idea? Please speak about it a little bit more.
Yeah, we had one use case we had in mind also at the beginning was when we created the NFT portal, which is also running for some time now, that you can send the royalties to a staking pool. The idea here is that the artist, for example, can create a token for himself, also for his own purpose, and saying you can buy here my token. If you pledge the token to the staking pool, you can indirectly receive all the royalties from all the NFTs I set once to the staking pool. Because if the artist once set the royalties to the staking pool, he can't change this anymore, because the owner of the royalties will be then the staking pool, which is a smart contract, and he is not able to change this anymore. So if you have a lot of trading then on these NFTs, for example, you can indirectly profit on that, and you can support the artist by buying his tokens, so he can use the Signum for other stuff or making marketing or something. And while then the NFT is starting to be sold more actively on the portal, then you will also get indirectly these royalties by the setup of the staking pool. That's one thingy. The other thing is also what we also have in mind is that we have the one staking pool, which is at the moment on the mainnet. I just show it here. Yes, mainnet here. So we have made these staking pool TRT, which has a lock period of 30 days, and we will also use, for example, these staking pool will receive all the income streams we have already right now from BTDEX and from the lottery, for example. And also we will move the portal fee at the moment, which we will also introduce for liquidity pools later. So you will have like a fee for swapping, which are going to the liquidity providers, and we will also have a small fee for the portal, like a portal fee, which will be then sent automatically to the staking pool. This is then set in the contract, can also be changed to a different one, so if other pools starting to work with that, so it's flexible to set up. And that means that indirectly you can have income here, what was always the idea for TRT, that you can benefit if you have more volume in trading on our chain. So that will be then for liquidity pools and for cross-chain stuff, which is also already running on via BTDEX, but we will change it then to the staking pool stuff. So that's an idea. And then in my use cases, business case, always the thing is, from the financial view, if you have like an expiry on a staking pool, you can construct something like a bond payment or like an investment. You can say, okay, we have, I will give you here a staking pool opportunity to invest in token XYZ as a pledge token. I will define a payment every let's say every month, and it will run for 1 year, and they will have a ratio which is similar to like 10%. And then the staking pool will pay every month more or less 10% in yield token or in Signum to the token holders. And you can ensure that by providing these balances for the payments already on the staking pool, because you have this interval payment, and you say in a ratio or with a max payment, you will only pay out every month XYZ. So you can already put all the payments, relevant balances onto this staking pool, so people can see if these bespoken payments will happen in the future. It will not say anything about the value of the token itself, but for this payment payoff, you could already be sure to get these payments over time if the balance is then deposited from the creator, for example, on the staking pool. So it's something you can use then to show in a decentralized way that you have everything ready to pay out your yield or payments over time for XYZ time period. And people can easily check this, because if you go on every staking pool like this, you have always here the balances. So, and the balances will be quite higher if you have not a payment each block by payment, for example, every 30 days. Then you could put already a balance on it here, and then you will see it. And it depends on the use and business case. I mean, it could also be that these guys only paying in advance 2 or 3 payments, or only 1 payment. That depends on what he is writing on his user business case, I think on his own internet page. And as you see here, that's what I want to say. Here you have always a stake pool description. People can see it then here, which is stored on a smart contract right now as a description. So you can see this here. What's in there. So you can also write in there an internet page link or so, if you like. Yeah, and then going through the page here. So here's the information for the pool. Here you can copy the pool address. Here you can trade the pledge token or the staking token. So you can directly go to the trading on-chain trading page. So if I click here, you just go then to the TRT page. And if you go click on the trade staking token, you would go here. If I go like me first time here, you have to click on that, and then you go here and see the staking pool, which was not, or which already was traded here. Quite interesting. So we had already a trade here on the STRT stuff. So somebody sold his pledge token, and yeah, that's also fine. No? So you can also trade this token like a secondary market on the original token, no? And it should have more or less the same price always. Yeah, and then you have this APR. That's also quite interesting. Some people already asked for that. APR is like your expected yield on the staking pool. It's 30 means it's over 30 days calculated. So last 30 days and backwards. It's quite simple calculation to take all the distributions you have with the current market value, like Signum in dollar, for example, in this case here, and if I would have yield token or the yield token, and then you check at the beginning of the period of the 30 days how much investment was there in the pledge token and by today, and then you take the average of the investment here, and then you just divide the payments by the average investment, and you get your yield. So we would, I think later we will also give you more flexible that you can choose your time as you want, and then you can, for example, ask for 30, 90 days, half a year or a year, and then you would see what was really paid out and what you can expect more or less into the future. Yeah, here you see the number of holders on this pool. Here you see how long these pledge tokens are blocked. If you send some in, or your stake token are blocked, and yeah, how often the payment period is each block, and the current market value of the pledge token. It's here in this case 227.
We have related questions about this locking period. What happens when, say, a 30-day lock period has finished? Do you have to relock?
Now the thing is, we have 3. Yeah, it's a good question. I can also describe that. Also, the thing is, let me go here. Check here. Okay, here's a good. Here you see something. I put in here. Is it a new one? I just need to check. Yeah, but let's go for that. Also, if you pledge something and you have a lock period, you will see something like here that your funds are locked, and you can't do anything until you have this time reached. And then if this time is reached, you can just unstake the funds. That's quite easy. Also, you don't need to do anything. That means if the lock period is reached, your funds are free. And we show this already on the front end that you can also activate the unstake. Let me check another one, like here. So for example, here's no lock period right now. I had invested 30,000 of these migrate token, and now I reached already my lock period of 1 day, so it's free now, and I could also unstake. The important thing to know is if I now invest again, new token, I would pledge the token again and get some new stake token. I would have for the whole position again 1 day lock, like what is explained here. That means always when I build up my position, lock period is added for the whole position. No? That means as long as I unstake, it will not change anything on the lock period. But if I would now go for another 10,000 to invest, I would have a new lock period, which is for 1 day, and I would not be able to unstake. So if I would now send first an unstake fund and then an invest fund, I think the unstake fund still goes through because I reach my lock period. But after the invest fund is great, also work through on the smart contract, I will have a new 1 day lock. I have to wait for 1 day until I can remove something from the.
Sorry, Frank. So you do not need to relock. It will earn rewards. Okay.
It will be automatically because the background here is it's quite easy to explain. Because as I showed here, we have the pool or the smart contract is creating these map values on the chain, which is stored in every node. And for each account number, it's storing a timestamp. And if we have a lock period set, it's just checking if the time period already passed the lock period from 1 or 30 days. You can just calculate that. And if this has happened, then you send your unstaking funds. So you send back the stake token. It will check your timestamp. And if you are outside your lock period with the timestamp, so this is in the past, you can get it out. It's a quite easy check on the code, like a two-liner or so. And then it's done. That's why you don't need to unlock or something. It's just set by this timestamp for each account on the chain. That also means, as you can see here, when I invest again, and I would be this number, this timestamp here would just be updated by a timestamp to plus 1 day in the future, and so I'm not able to unstake. But if after I reach this timestamp in the future, so tomorrow at the same time, like now, I could unstake again. And it's also important. That's also something I like to mention, as I saw it here that on the staking token was, for example, not yet traded. That means somebody bought something. As long this guy, and we have a 30-day lock period here, so the guy should then also, if he wants to get the real TRT token, I mean, as long as he only wants to trade this ST TRT token to get a reward, it's all fine. You can also sell it on the market, all fine. But if you want to get out the TRT token, he needs to send the tokens to the smart contract. And in this moment, if he has not any positions right now on this pool, staking pool, the staking pool will recognize that he has no timestamp stored, and it will create a timestamp for him for 30 days and send back the ST TRT tokens to this account. And then in 30 days from this moment on, he can really get back the TRT tokens. So if you never have a contact with the staking pool and you're just trading the stake token, it's all fine as long as you can trade it here in and out on the on the trading book. But if you then really want to get the real TRT, you should minimum send one stake token to the pool to get the timestamp for your account. So that is implemented like this, so that not somebody can you can just transfer your stake token to another account and then work around the lock period. This is not possible at all. So that's these three cases. You have always I'm going here. You have something like you reached your lock period, then it's going away. Otherwise, you will see how long your stuff is locked. Let me just go back here again to see page. I think this one. Yeah, you see your funds are locked on this pool until you see the fund, how long they are locked, or they are free, or if you have just a stake token, you should really, and you see nothing here, you should really send it in, that you get also a timestamp from the staking pool in this case.
Okay, we have two more questions about staking pools. This one from Paul Poco. How do you figure out if a staking pool actually earns real income? There has been tokens before that paid income from the actual token sales and then eventually created disappear.
I mean, that's not the purpose of the staking pool. Is not guaranteeing anything, or it's as I described. On one hand, somebody is maybe like TMG building an ecosystem, so you can make also a staking pool for that, for example, or TRT is also makes sense to have a staking pool. If an artist also starts with, for example, mapping the royalties to this staking pool makes also sense. Or if you have other income streams from a used business case, which is described, I think, on a separate internet page, a separate app or somewhere, you can decide if you like this and buy the original token, and then you can stake it on the staking pool. If there's some extra income, you can maybe calculate and see if the balances are distributed with these amounts of Signa and a yield token that makes sense. Or if the original token creator disappears, it makes no difference if you only have the staking pool, staking token, or you have the real pledge token, means the original token, because finally you get back this the original token, and then you can try to sell it still on the market if there are still buyers maybe around. But otherwise, yeah, then your investment, or let's say the invested Signa, may be worthless because the token has no value anymore. But I think that's a general thing. You need to trust the creator and the user and business case. And I hope that you get a lot of them in the future, and then you can decide where to invest or spend Signa on it.
So do your research.
Yeah, do your own
Next
research.
question. Yeah. Yes. Will SignumSwap send you Signum address and message to remind you that your staking pool are expiring?
Currently not. Currently not, but that's something we could look in later with the Nostr integration we do. We have some ideas in mind, because we could, for example, check with some scripts outside when you have a Nostr account via Signum chain created and it's mapped to your account, we could see that on our chain, and then we could also, for example, check all the outstandings of a staking pool, and we could also check then the investment there, and we could see also the accounts. And if you have a Nostr account, we could make an information via Nostr, which would be quite nice, and just informing you. So it's an outside the chain, but with the chain possibilities we have, like creating a Nostr account, which Oliver already showed last time. And then we can easily use it in the script, so reading the database and just running it and making a service as a pool, staking pool creator to your holders. That could be done.
We have several questions not related to staking pools. Maybe you can finish this section or you? I mean, do you have something to show more about staking
No,
pools?
it's okay. If we have everything out, if everything is, no other questions, I think I showed most of the stuff. Just checking here. I think I described this. You will also see last thing is pool distribution history. We have also always all the distributions showing here also on the detail page for each pool, so you can check what was paid, when, and how much. Let me check if I have something with maybe here. No, there's nothing. Yeah, and on the testnet we have no payment. Yeah, I should payment. So we can also have something with yield token payment. So you would also see then the smart yield token which was paid out, and also interesting as the last mentioned, we have also additional tokens on the pool balance, which everyone can request an airdrop. That's also something we created. Means, for example, if this migrate token is selected by an airdrop from any other token, for example, like these my token one, that these staking pool will get an airdrop with a token here in this example. And if you like and you want to have this is not automatic to distribute it, because it has nothing to do with the staking pool directly. It's more about having Signum and the yield token distributed. But you as an owner, and if you say, yeah, I like to have this token, you can create an airdrop to the staking token holders in this moment. And if I click on that, you have to pay the fee to send it to all holders like a normal distribution. So it's not paid by the staking pools, but you would pay it for everyone indirectly to generate these airdrop to every holders on this case here on the STK token, which will then contribute as a my token one token to everyone if you kick off this airdrop. So it's quite a nice feature. So if you get your worthless token, nobody will be interested in this, but maybe you get somehow a nice or interesting airdrop, then you can also create this airdrop by your own, which also benefits for everything who is invested into this pool, and just send out this airdrop token. That's something which is really nice. So you can also decide on your own. You don't need to wait for anybody. You can just click on that, pay this small fee in the distribution fee, and then it will be distributed. Yeah, that's
Nice.
one.
Okay, let's finish staking pools.
Yeah.
And we have question when liquidity pools will be initiated.
Yeah, we are just starting now with liquidity pools. We hope that this is also getting a little bit faster than with the staking pool, or it's also my hope that we are now faster, because we were more or less, we are able to reuse now the technology we have created here on SignumSwap. We also have set up all the API calls in the background, as I showed you, which were created on the time while we were using the development of the staking pool. So yeah, hopefully it's not taking at the same time like now. It took like 3 or 4 months we had to develop this. I hope we can double speed up here in time and even faster. But yeah, we need to see. So we are now at the moment we are doing the mockups for the liquidity swap stuff, liquidity pool stuff. Sorry, and as soon as we can have an first estimate how long it takes, we can also maybe give an estimate to that. Right now I can't say, but I hope it's not so long as it was for staking pools.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, but what would be interesting is also that we would have some sort of the sandwich problem, is people are knowing liquidity pools right now on other chains where you can get front money from bots and from other miners. This will not be possible with our liquidity pools, because we will give always the same price in one block to everyone. So if you buy or sell, it will calculate the price with all the incoming transactions. So it's like a loop of all transactions within one block, and everyone gets the same price. So this is quite a bid and ask price with the spread, but it's always the same for buyers and for sellers, and there's no front running really possible, because you can't get in and out like on other chains in one block. And if we even now go to faster blocks, which we are also looking into it, we could really make it really sandwich attack safe, which is quite nice.
And we have questions about faster block times.
Yeah.
I mean, we have had such a discussion.
Yeah, as we said, I mean, the first thing, I think I made a presentation already a month ago or so. There was also the idea with some combination of different models like proof of stake and proof of commitment we have right now. We will go back to only proof of commitment, and the idea is that if we go down, for example, to block times like 24 seconds, like other quite short blocks, so that we then that you as a miner still use proof of commitment as we have it now, and you only mine every 10th block, and so you have the same time frame as now. That means you will still have time like around 4 minutes to read your plots, but it would be the same. So it would be the same behavior for the miners, just with the blockchain is getting a speed up and having 10 times faster blocks. So we could also have 10 times faster trading on the chain, which also makes it more or less near-time trading. Would be nice, quite interesting here, because then liquidity pools, staking pools, the on-chain trading, also our cross-chain trading later would be going quite fast. And it would also open, I think, a lot of other possibilities, like for gaming stuff, where you also need quite fast blocks right now, as we talk with other companies, and a 4-minute block is then out of scope. But if you have less than a minute, gaming industry is quite interested in that, having block times less than a minute, and then it makes it quite interesting for them to look into gaming stuff on our chain also. And as we have this simple setup, it's for me all the basic stuff to create tokens, to distribute tokens, to make staking pools or liquidity pools later more or less easy to create. You can integrate this in every use on business case, and also into a gaming or into a game, which is working on the blockchain or with the blockchain.
And the last question: staking pool airdrop NFTs. Can staking pool airdrop NFTs?
A staking pool is not able to airdrop NFTs. I think there was a time where we had these I don't know, where you have these contracts on other chains where you were able to put NFTs in, and then you were randomized selling these NFTs to different people. At the end, it was outside always normally it was outside an Excel sheet, or so, and people were doing some stuff. I think it's Candy Machine. It's named like this, as I remember correctly, where you were able then to get really rare NFTs. Hopefully, if you just buy a ticket for these Candy Machine airdrop stuff. It would be a different smart contract. Let's say this way, we could program it for the NFT portal that you have a Candy Machine set up there, really decentralized, and you see really which NFTs are in. And if you buy a ticket for that, there's a real chance that you get something, and not it's done in the hidden, like it was done in the past on other chains, where you paid some Ethereum and then you get something or not, and you will never know what was really distributed or how and why. But we could do that with a Candy Machine contract. Right now, yeah, it's was set back for the staking pool and the liquidity pool stuff. And then maybe we also want to combine the staking pool with the royalty sharing. So we could put this also on the NFT portal. Also with some token pages for the artists, if they create tokens for such royalty sharing. And then maybe later we can also do this Candy Machine completely decentralized in a way everyone can also check how this was distributed. But right now, to answer the question, a pool can't send around this kind of contract is not able to send around NFTs. Even if you would send over an ownership to this pool, nothing would happen at the end. More or less, the NFT would be lost, because the pool even can't send out a transfer or a new sale on the NFT portal. It's not possible. There's no function program for that. It's really optimized just for handling the tokens and the distribution payout.
Okay, thank you, Frank. It is 1 hour and 5 minutes. So I think let's leave Web3 identity to our stream. I think maybe next week or maybe I don't know when. I do not think that we need to
I only just,
make this.
before we start, I just want to show that everyone is aware of, we have, let me go to SignumSwap on the chain now here. If you go for alias, the main chain we have right now, if you search for something, let's say, so I just want to enter this out. You can, here you see first I can use the underscore, which is new, before it was not possible. And now you see what is taken here on the main chain already. So you can see all the new top-level domains we have integrated with the last hard fork. So you could buy all of these. And one with .nostr is already taken, and you could also take the standard one, Signum is still free. And you can buy then such an alias. And you can generate your Web3 identity with our new standard there, setting up all the informations around your profile. Maybe we can do this in the next section then, yes. But if you go on this alias stuff, it's quite nice. If you enter what you search for, I can also go spaceship, for example, go here. It could be everything free. You could also check, so you can easily check every top-level domain which may be taken or still free, or also something if there's somebody is already selling an alias right now, you will see here also the offer in a real price, and you could also take this offer if it's public and just get the new alias to your account. So yeah, it's open now since the hard fork, so everyone can start doing that. And what you can also see here is on the network. Let me go here. You can go for auto payments, and here you see already every payment. So we have these 3 months payment now for new aliases. If you buy someone, you have to pay in 3 months the first alias fee on chain. If you don't pay it, or if you cancel the subscription, the alias will be going free again, and you can request this again if you're lucky and get it still, or somebody else can buy it. And as long as you pay, you are safe to have this alias as long as you like to use it. And you see it already here. We have integrated now on the description, and it's a generic created subscription for sure, but it's quarterly payment for alias, and you see then which alias is bought with that, and who at the moment is the like Chepas here, for example, is the owner of that, and it's paying to the burn address because it's one of these default top-level domains we have. And here you see, for example, here something bought with a .nostr account, which is then going to the SNA, which we would like to spend later for other stuff. And it's one of these custom TLDs which you can also create. So standard deals all go to a burn address. If somebody else besides SNA would create a default TLD, custom TLD, you could also get these alias fees to your account as a creator. And you can also sell this domain later to a new owner if you like. It's handled like normal alias sale. Yeah, that's it for the alias stuff. And then I think otherwise I think we already stretch lots of time. You're right. Yeah, I hope it helps a little bit to understand the staking pool stuff. It's really about constructing ecosystems and supporting them with the staking pool in a decentralized way. You can construct payouts with custom payout profiles, custom ratios, and maximum payout amounts for the Signa stuff or for the yield token. So at the end, you can construct something like a bond in a financial term, and with a given maturity, so people can also check if you paid in the future yield payments. So it's also building some trust, even we are still decentralized on this staking pool setup.
Okay, great. Sorry, Polpoko, Nivok, and Alfred. We will answer these questions maybe later. I want to finish the stream now. Okay, Frank. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, thank you very much.